love is important. Love one another.
What's good? Salute to my listeners, salute to my comrades behind enemy lines, and welcome to the State Raised Session. I'm your host, KROBB. You know what it is. Every week we're here choosing our path to liberation while hosting this informative dialogue highlighting America's systemic issues and the importance of a unified race state. Let's get it. What's good? What's good, everybody? You already know what it is. This is the State Raised Session. This is KROBB coming at you. This is the Eye to Eye segment. And you already know what it is. We're in Miami, Northwest 17th Ave and 50th. We're here with locals, people that represent the community. Get the dialogue on, build, and just being able to look each other in the eye through love and kindness, but find out really what our community needs and where we're going. So today we're here with a couple members of the community. If you don't mind, introduce yourself, brother.
How you doing? I'm David.
David from the community. Soul sister.
Oh, I'm Michelle.
Rochelle.
Michelle.
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 All right. Michelle and David here, man. One of the things that that I was pointing out, and my mission that I embarked on was that our peoples need a new voice. We needed a voice of love and kindness, not a voice where lights exist and needs exist. A platform in a world where people really give a fuck and you can show your love and kindness to one another. Cause I feel that's, as people, what we're lacking. You know what I'm saying? Between our brothers in transition and our sisters in transition coming home from the penitentiary, whether it's drugs and alcohol, whether it's coming out of poverty, I just feel like none of the things I see out there really represent where I'm sitting right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I feel like with all the money that's going on, I don't see it out here. I don't see it on this dirt. I don't see it in the kids that's running around. I don't see that opportunity. Okay. Another issue I have is feeling as though people in the community needed to incorporate. With all this money and resource going around, people like y'all South that are entrepreneurs and business people, as well as people from the community, need startup, just like other communities need startup, which involve venture capitalists, angel investors, and so forth, so forth. What are some of the things, if you may tell me, that your community may need to take it to the next level? What are some of the issues that cripple your community, and what do you think? And what do you think are some of the things that can take us, to that next level where we can get out of some of this shit? What do we need?
I think this community needs a lot of things. We need, number one, I think we need to get rid of all the damn crooked-ass politicians we got.
No shit.
They've crippled this community for as long as I can remember. And I grew up in this community. I haven't always lived here, but I've seen it not grow the way it should grow. I think the politicians are so used to taking and taking and taking and taking, and they never give. I mean, yes. they don't. I mean, they're takers. If we can get an influx of money into the community, like right now, Biden has said that all these communities are going to get all this money to do all these things. I don't see very little of it, if any, coming to this community.
No.
None whatsoever.
None.
I'd be shocked if I see anything happening around here. If I see 17th Avenue built up the way they're trying to build up Midtown and all the other areas where they're trying to make money at right now. They don't really give a damn about this community.
If you notice, they're pushing us as a black community out of the city.
Oh, exactly.
This ain't our city no more. No. It's not going to be.
No, it's being gentrified slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely. It's moving.
It's not an interest to them.
No.
Well, it's not, because if you're not one of them, you're not in the mix. You're not going to get a damn thing.
Exactly. That's why you got to think like them.
Exactly.
And move different.
You got to.
There's a line we got to cross to make that connection.
Exactly. It has to be a connection. You got, and it's not always politicking. It's networking.
Yeah.
Networking.
Is that what it is? I mean, you network with politicians.
We do it all the time.
Our biggest problem is that sometimes it can be ourselves.
Yeah.
And that really bothers me.
It's true. That's just like my brother owned an apartment on 61st Street. Mm-hmm. I told him then, don't sell.
Right.
Don't sell. Look at Wynwood. We stayed in Wynwood since '81. I was just born. And look where Wynwood took us. And look at it now. Look what the money got is over there.
Exactly.
Don't sell. He sold. Now look at the buildings gone.
On the other side of the
Yeah, that's just why when I met the guy and said, okay, he owned a lot of buildings on 15. Do not sell.
Yeah.
Right.
You hold off. Even if you sell one or two buildings, if you sell one is going to give you enough money to fix up the rest. But don't sell to them. Don't
So
sell.
there has to be, right now, we also need an exchange of a financial resource.
Yes, but we also
That's
got to think
all,
like them.
yeah.
We got to think like them. If it was them when we came in their community, they is not going to sell to us as fast and so cheap.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think about that.
Right.
And then the opportunities were never there for
No,
us.
that's why most of the boys, when they getting out of jail now, I'm telling them, invest in me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Invest in me.
Yeah.
So
There
we
you
can
go.
flip and do clean and do whatever we got to do
Exactly.
or whatever. But the young kids and the young people today, they don't know nothing about that. That's just why when the boys said with all this
I think that's-
bad money going around, you better know what to do with it when it's time.
And you're right, but see, again, one of the other problems I saw in this community was we don't look out for each other.
No.
And then we always want a big bet before we learn to walk or
Exactly.
crawl. I remember, and I grew up over there by Moore Park. I went to school at Miami Jackson. I remember when the Cuban community was little. I remember watching the Cubans coming into Miami on all these boat lifts, and they coming into Miami slowly but surely.
It's true.
And they would be in a house 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at a time.
8 at a
and
time.
A dozen at a
That's
time.
what we
and,
did,
and, and,
exactly.
the, and the government was giving them all that damn money
Yes, they
to
did.
do that.
Okay.
And they
That's
took all,
right.
and they
Yes.
took all that money and banked it and did. Some of them did
Yeah.
dirty with it, but they made money.
Yes, they did.
And some of them did, open businesses or whatever, and
Yeah.
they made money. Now look who's running this damn town right now.
Yes. If you don't
this
see
out.
the dude
Now,
chief of police just got fired for calling
Yeah.
telling them that the Cuban mob run to Florida, Miami,
And they do.
they fired.
And they do.
Yeah, but that's anybody that been in Miami know that back in the days what it was, the cocaine cowboys,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gus Ford, Machado, all them car
Yeah.
Oh,
dealers
yeah.
and all
Oh,
them.
yeah. All that was
They
it.
were all down with that.
They were.
And the port of Miami and having access to the water, it just made it that much more, condensed when it came to the substances and shit like that coming through. But it's an interesting point in the conversation I have with Cubans, right? And it's real quick, is that I told one Cuban brother, I says, don't never get it twisted, because when y'all, as a people, were coming here in the 60s and the 50s, we had already been being hungry. So don't think this is new shit, what these people are doing to you and don't want to save you back in your homeland and shit. They've been had this face, and they've been two-faced it. You know what I'm saying? So, so when I look, I look at the divide. I cross these train tracks, and I come into Northwest. I cross the train tracks. I go into Hialeah. When you go into Hialeah, it's a city within a city.
It is.
And
Little Havana,
when
same
you,
way.
and you have the first thing you see when you go into these places is generational wealth.
Yes.
Generational wealth. When it's time to go to the pharmaceutical, they go to Navarro. When it's time to go buy food, they go to Sedano.
Yep.
When it's time to go to buy a piece of real estate, they're
that's
on
not
every
our
corner.
fault. That's not the
It's not
people's
blaming no
fault.
fault. What I'm showing is that it's an example as to the opportunity that always was there, just not for us.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
that's like our black people. We
Just
got
not
to
for
support
us.
each other. Just
Now
like
we
they
gotta
do.
support each other,
Because
yes,
they
exactly.
do support each other.
Now we
They
gotta
hold
support
each
each
other
other.
up. They do.
We got to support each other. That's why we're out here, everybody. And this exchange of resource that does have to happen between communities, between people. What makes it difference here is that I didn't know how to do it, and somebody told us, incorporate. Incorporate why? You don't need nobody else to tell us, oh, well, all right, we're going to help your community, but we're going to do it through this company. No, do it right through the people. So the people aren't incorporated. They don't have their own nonprofit.
But that's-
so now they do. State-raised INC is incorporated.
That's just like I was saying about the black bank.
Yeah.
When
Black banks, right.
They had a lot of money to give to black-owned businesses. But because nobody knew about them,
Right.
they couldn't even go to them. They were still going to Wells Fargo's and places like that.
Real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't giving it to him. That's just like this man I met, he had them been owning his home for since 82. So tell me why Wells Fargo's won't give you no money to fix your house up when that's who you bank with. I gotta take you to the black-owned bank to get it so they can give you money to
Feel
fix
what I'm
your
saying?
house up. You need to pull your money out of Wells Fargo
Exactly.
and bring it over here to us.
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
problem.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
But
That's real shit.
just like
real shit.
we were just talking earlier.
What, can
Who
you,
I'm on my way.
Go ahead.
Before we, anything
I'm
you
on
want to
my way
plug,
over there.
your company, your business, anything.
Yeah, I'm
before
down
we
the
go,
street.
Talk about yourself, please.
Yeah.
What's your name? What's your company?
Okay.
What do you do in the community? Let the people know.
Yes, I am Delightful Pedicures. That's men pedicures by Delightful. You can
you
look
go.
me up on Facebook, Instagram, hashtag, wherever you gotta go. You can look me up. Miami, you come down here is at Apple Glam Unlimited. We do facials, we do teeth whitening, we do fat freezing. I think that's what it is. BB, please don't get me.
Sounds good.
We do wigs, we do hair, we do everything. Just come by and we'll hook you up.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
That's
That is
what's
good.
up.
No. I'm just the opposite. I'm kind of.
Hello.
I'm retired.
All right, I'm gonna come over here.
Go ahead, man.
Down the street.
I got you. My bad.
Go ahead. No, I'm a retired brother, man. I was in the military for a good part of my life.
Military, serving the military. What branch?
Air Force.
All right, that's what's up. Salute, man. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
And for whatever you fought for, whatever was in
Yeah.
your heart, thank you. You know what I'm saying?
For us.
Because I don't like airplanes, I don't like heights.
Yeah.
And somebody
Yeah.
had to do it, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah, definitely.
So I could just imagine. Salute to the sister that was just here.
Yeah, definitely.
Being able to step up to the plate and let people know where she's coming from. Everybody out there, that is what it's about. It's about community coming together, but in the lines of incorporating and supporting black business. And don't get this fucked up. It's not just about black community. First, right now, I'm here. It's about black community. You know the underprivileged communities and what people go through. But remember this. It's about bringing different nationalities together. That is what this is solely about, the big picture. So this ain't no exclude to no other community when I highlight Northwest 17th Ave and 50th. But what it does mean is that next week we're gonna be in your community. And the month after that, we'll be in your community touching base and figure out what can we do to bring light to our economic structures and our economic issues within our country, within our communities. This brother here, you got a wise person who's been around. That's what I'm doing. Sitting down with people who've been here before, who've been here, know what it is, and getting their take on shit. So, as we were saying, Air Force. When you got out of the Air Force, what did you come home to? What was that like? What year was that?
Ooh. That was in the 90s, man. It was in 90, actually it was doing it right after Hurricane Andrew.
Right after coming here?
92. And,
92?
I came home to nothing. I had to restart, had to rebuild and restart all over again. However, I hadn't lived here in over 20 years when I came back here, and I found out the city changed.
City changed.
Big
Where were you
time.
coming from? Where were you coming from?
My last duty station was in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. I've traveled all over the United States, all over the world.
All over the world, right?
So,
you flew all over the world.
So it was. Some of it was work, some of it was fun, but it
Right.
was all good. But when I came back here, the city has changed. I thought that I would see a better city, and I didn't see a better city. I saw a city that it seems like I want to say frozen, but it wasn't frozen. I think we took a couple economically and socially and in the communities. I think we took steps backwards. And I was shocked to see that. And unfortunately, and that's been over 20 years ago, over 25 years ago. Hell, I still see steps backwards. And we need to change that shit. We need to bring money into our community. We need to economically and socially look out for each other. You know, be your brother's keeper if necessary. You know.
You know what I mean?
But because it don't hurt, it's free.
It's free.
It really doesn't hurt. But I'm just not seeing enough of that. And I like seeing entrepreneurship. I like seeing this brother over here selling
Chili
dogs
Willie.
and Chili Willie. Chili Willie is the man.
Shout out to Chili Willie. You already know, entrepreneur on deck.
But he's the man. He came out here, carved a niche, and he's doing his thing. My man Sam's Car Wash. He's been here for years.
Sam's Car Wash.
And he's been doing his thing.
Definitely.
But,
go ahead, my bad.
No, but it's I just want to see this community do better. What I'm seeing now is still a lot of division in the community.
Right.
And it's not just down here. I grew up in Miami. I grew up in Liberty City. Went to school right down the street. But the deal is now I live down south, and it's like quieter. It's like community areas and stuff like. But you can almost see the divides there, you know.
Right.
The blacks, most of the blacks in the area, the African Americans, they live in in holes and stuff in Florida City. Don't get me wrong, not everybody, but they still have communities like this, like in Florida City, which is another place you need to check.
It's systemic.
Yeah,
I've been to Florida City.
Oh yeah, okay, good.
I was down there. I went down there to the school, Advanced Achievers Academy.
Okay, good.
In Florida City, the gentleman Guido that runs that school,
great,
has an interesting background. But the children from that community have such great grades.
Yeah.
From the worst neighborhood in the country, right?
Yeah.
One of the worst neighborhoods in the country, United States. The school down there has some of the best curricula for the kids, and the kids have some of the best grades.
But they need
the people who
all
care.
They need is that chance. All they need to be is taught.
That's right.
And that's the problem is, and I want to say it's getting better. The educational systems for our kids.
I don't think it's getting better because the country and people seem like they're going backwards. So when I look at education in school system, I see that you had faith in sending your kids off to college, and the United States would take care of them.
No.
I don't see that shit no more.
That ain't
you know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right. That's not happening.
Yeah. So this incorporation shit is really deep now. It's not. I'm not on here. He's not on here talking about incorporating in community finance because it's a thing to do. It's that much more vital now. Because the truth that we know is out there right now, all right?
Exactly.
Now, venture capitalists, and we were talking about this before, venture capitalists have been the backbone of communities being built for years. Hold on.
Right.
And a lot of people just don't know this shit. However, upon coming into this knowledge, thank you, brother. Yeah. Upon coming into this knowledge and finding out these important roles of finance and how this separates communities and opportunity, there's a present moment of activism happening where you don't got no time to wait now. You don't got no time to think about it. It's a time of action.
Yeah.
A time of action is say, well, we have to unify and come together as brothers. And the mentorship that's between ages, between father and son, nephews, and generations,
exactly.
we have to bring that shit together because we know the prison system, the juvenile penal system, and drugs and alcohol have taken us all out of whack. So with the last of us that are left, I bring consciousness to the round table to look eye to eye with any other man that wants to meet me halfway to give back to our community.
Exactly.
And so we can build these economic connections as well as love. But the economic structure has to happen. Exchange of resource has to happen. It has to happen. Corporate America, the people out there that are going to be watching this video that have finances, if you want to make a difference, behind us is a car wash. It's an establishment that's been there forever. We got Chili Willy's here, entrepreneur, paperwork, license, and everything. There's tons of people out here that are in transition, that have dreams. In any case, just know this is where the struggle is. So in the struggle, you have people setting the trend, setting the way, setting the right positive fucking lane. And they need support. We need support. So if you want to endorse, if you want to support, come right to the hood.
Exactly.
And that's what we're about doing. Taking the barbecue, this podcast, community, state by state, so you can endorse and you can support entrepreneurship in the flesh. One person out. Why? Because we're incorporated. State raised INC. Google it. We're a non-profit. Everywhere we go, we want to incorporate that neighborhood. To not just teach them how to accept and build, but to also teach the neighborhoods how to give. That's what this shit is about, point blank. My conversation's not gonna go much further than that. Anything else is, there's a lot of points, but a lot of shit ends up getting watered down. Exchange of resource has to happen for brothers out here to stop dealing dope. Period. You want a motherfucker to stop dealing dope, you want somebody to wake up and put the pistol down and stop robbing, then you have to make things available.
You got to give them something else to do.
You got to give brothers something else to do.
Yeah, definitely.
And so just like we're sitting in here, it's my lane to sit down across from people that are putting in work. And you know what I hear from people? That the game is there and it only exists because we never had shit. And if we had shit and equal opportunities, they would rather be running their own Fortune 500 fucking companies because they're already entrepreneurs. They're just in the wrong game.
And also, you know, they've been dealt that hand of generational wealth where we haven't.
True, very fucking true.
I'm a real believer in every generation taking care of the previous generation.
The previous.
Take care of your shit. Like my children. My two kids, my oldest, my son, was never going to college. Was never going. He wasn't about that game.
Word.
Actually, when his mother finally gave him to me, he was in school and he was flunking. She sent him to me when he was 17, and flunking and everything. So he had to live my life. He had to live my military life, and slowly we straightened him out.
Mentorship.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about mentorship, man to man.
It's man to man. That's what it is.
So
man.
you know, eventually, you know, long story short, he turned himself around. He said, you know, Dad, I want to be a truck driver. I like, okay, we're gonna send you to truck driving school. Send him to truck driving school. He got it. He bought his own truck. Then he bought 2 or 3 trucks. Then he opened his own business.
See the fuck I'm saying?
My daughter wanted to do what she wanted to go to college. She went there. She got a master's.
Now let me just say one thing.
Yeah.
This man, y'all heard him introduce himself.
Yeah.
By what he went through, he was able to change the fucking trajectory of his son's path.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because
By his wisdom. Because this man would probably be living a whole nother life right now if he hadn't made that decision. It's that simple decision between men and counsel.
Exactly.
One to another that we need.
Mentorship,
man. And I don't mean the fake shit, these other motherfuckers. There's a lot of false fucking prophets out here. There's a lot of false organizations. It's mentorship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This ain't about that. This is real mentorship right here, man.
All right, goes my brother. Go ahead.
Nah, your brother can come sit down, take this mic.
But, yeah.
How you doing, brother? Introduce yourself, come on.
He had a pot. Yeah, he's on the phone.
Podcast.
Nah, I want to get on.
You don't want to get on?
I want to get on.
We're talking about community development, and what we need as people and men in our community, starting with mentorship between men, old to younger, younger to old, and what to go with it, because we know a lot of shit been going on for a lot of years. What to go with is that we need is this exchange of resource. Venture capitalists have been sponsoring startup in them other communities for years. If half the people in our communities had that opportunity, just the opportunity to say, hey, I can take this re-up and go do this, or I can go over here and start my own business because here's a brother that did it and he's willing to meet me halfway financially, then that brother would do it.
Who was going to teach him how to make his business an LLC?
Well, that's where we came in. I don't know shit about LLC, but I know shit about love. In the past couple years, I said I'm tired of not doing nothing, and I didn't know where my past would play part. So I went and started LLC, the nonprofit. It's state raised for the state raised people, INC. You can't get it fucked up. It's our shit. It's not mine. It's ours. And I'm learning.
Good job.
I'm learning as I go along, and we're picking up brothers as we go along to make a difference, you know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to do that.
So I would like to have you at least on camera, say what's up to the people. Come sit down, brother.
Oh, well, I'm good, man. I ain't camera ready. Camera shy, but I'm good, man.
Good to hear you.
I'm Jeff. Everybody know me, I'm saying right here. I'm
Jeff.
good.
Where you from, Jeff? You from the community, right?
Born and raised.
Born and raised, Miami-Dade.
Yep.
Sir.
All day long.
Right here.
I believe the people like us are the inspiration to the next brother out there. When we show them that we ain't afraid of the land. When we show them that we can sit down
and talk about it.
Because this is grown man shit. I don't know nothing about digital world, brother. I don't even know lights and none of that shit.
Right.
What I do know is I got love for you.
True.
What I do know is I got love for you, and I'm tired of this shit out here, man.
Yeah, man, it's got to change.
I mean, it's going to come from having an education, understand? Because lack of education around here with these young people, man, is what got them going haywire. Understand? If they don't go to school and get a learning, understand what they're learning and how to use it to their better profit later on, then it's like nothing at all. You understand? It's the old saying, having sense and not using it, just like not having it at all. So they lack a lot of education and knowledge. That's where they have to be taught.
You're absolutely right.
By how to exercise their knowledge. First get it and then exercise. It ain't all about running the streets selling drugs.
And it's got to start at the basics, man. It's got to start somewhere at the basics. I mean, because half these kids out here don't even know what a damn bank account is. They don't have a bank account. They don't know how to run a bank account.
Right.
They couldn't
write a check. Ask them to write a check. Actually sign their name.
So what
and
we do,
penmanship.
so what we do is through this mentorship as a nonprofit,
Teach
people
them.
that do know how, we step out in the community on the weekend, like right now.
Yeah, and teach them.
And we teach them. And that's what they were doing in the 60s.
But how do you pull them in to be able to learn to teach them?
And that's where we got to set straight.
they're not
Look,
learning.
we incorporate it. We sponsor events. We sponsor business. We sponsor merch. So we bring in celebrities, the influencers that are in control of our kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's where I come in. And the goal is to line up all these people who are influencing our fucking communities and have them come show face. And this is the beautiful part of what I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
The next time I see y'all, it's gonna have an influencer at the table on the block.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
And
They gotta
that.
come to the community.
And they need that.
Yeah.
That's what makes the young people gonna come together. That's what's gonna make this shit different.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's good? You already know what it is. This is KROBB. This is the state raised session. Coming at you, making a difference, stepping out. Peace and love and kindness, like always, to our community, to our brothers, to the people who give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's about unifying, but it is about incorporating. I'm with a brother here today. I appreciate you for sitting in with us and being able to give the people your wisdom.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Your knowledge.
Thank you for having me.
I want to know, definitely next time you're going to be on the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you sit in with us.
Definitely. I got your information, so I should know where you. I'll look it up and find out where you are.
Definitely. It is about peace and love, man, and whether it's to old to young to old, and this incorporating part is real. And I say love and kindness first because I had to get the fuck out my own way.
Yeah.
The gangster, the OG, doesn't do nothing. It's love and kindness that gets this shit done. So I salute you and I thank you really for sitting down with us today
man.
and being able to give the people your perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Anytime, bro.
I got you.
Anytime, man.
Peace and love. This is the state raised session.
man. Nice.
Got anybody you want to shout out? My bad.
Oh man, no. Just hi to my children and my grandchildren.
The ones you sent through college.
Exactly.
Come on, man. Peace to
Exactly.
that. You know what I'm saying? Accomplishments in the making, in the flesh, and let you know it's really real here. Holla at your boy, KROBB.